Hello, everybody, and happy Monday. It is Monday, August 15th, and this is another episode of Mark's Monday Minutes in Real Estate for the Portland metropolitan area. I decided to mix it up a little bit today. Got a different sign behind me. One of my favorites, in fact. Forget the House, How Big is the Garage by Ratfink, Big Daddy Roth. All right, so quick synopsis. The growing inventory of new homes that we typically see in the summer has dramatically slowed. This is normal for summer activity pre-COVID. Let's dig into the numbers and I'll illustrate using hard data. All right, for currently as of Monday, March 15th, let's say that Monday, August 15th, get the correct month, we have 4,350 homes available in Portland on the market. Just slightly up from 4,304 last week and 4,225 the week before. We're just kind of cresting. We broke this 4,000 point and now we're just holding. New this week, 671 homes, just slightly down from 685 last week. Pending homes this week, 560. And the number of sold homes, 408. We'll talk about that difference, 408 versus 560 pending. That's actually a typical number, we'll explain. Now, the number of those homes out there, the 4,350 that have seen a price adjustment in the last 45 days, 1,313. This represents 30.1% of the homes. We've been tracking it 29, 29.7, 29.1, and now finally 30.1. So right at that 30%, that is what we typically see in a normal market. Now, nationally this year, it seems like it's going to be a little bit higher, forecasting up as high as 38 to 40%. You've heard me say that before, but here in Portland, we don't think we're going to get there. Portland seems to be a bit more of a protected market. The number of coming soon listings, the listings that will be coming to the market in the next 3 weeks that I can show to you before they hit the general market, we've got 50 of those currently in the RMLS system. Now, the number of homes finally sold in the last 30 days, 2,059, which we take that number and divide it by the active number of homes, 4,350, and that gives us 2.1 months of inventory. This is when everyone talks about, oh, the market has been so scarce, it's been such a strong seller's market, it's now crashing, it's now a buyer's market. No, we've been sitting at 2 months of inventory, 2.0, 2.09, 2.0, 2.02, and 2.1. 5 weeks. So we've just been cresting along, even keel, nice and level. Now, let's get into the 4-car garages. Active homes with a 4-car garage or larger, there's 119 homes, 37 of which are below $1 million. 12 of those are new homes this week. Interesting, only one home with a 4-car garage has gone pending in the last 7 days. I don't know if this is an anomaly or we just happened to catch it in between. It was about 1.4 million, so it's up in that million plus range. Nothing under $1 million went pending this week. Okay. But the number of homes that did sell was 9 in the last week with a 4-car garage or larger. And the last month, we sold 38 homes with a 4-car garage or larger. Once again, taking these 38 divided by the 119 available gives us a supply of 3.13 months worth of homes with a 4-car garage or larger. And once again, this is a bit skewed because the majority of those homes, about 3/4 of them, are over $1 million. So if we're seeing 3 months of inventory in the above $1 million range and yet 2 months of inventory across the entire range, once again, that's a fairly normal distribution. Now, where did my numbers get to? As I said, what we're seeing back in June, there was a rush for sellers to get to the market because people started worrying about a crash. There was going to be this impending real estate crash. Well, it didn't happen. And there's no reason why it should have happened. This is just the media out there saying this is going to happen. The world is falling apart. Houses are going to plummet. You're going to lose all your value because mortgage rates at the end of April went above 4% for the first time in a long time, about 6 years. Sellers now realize they don't have to sell. The market's comfortable. And they can keep enjoying those cheap mortgages in the 2, 3, and 4% where you may have refinanced back last year in the 3% range. So sellers are not feeling the need to have to sell. And I think buyers have had this little window of time where they've worked with the sellers who felt the need to sell. And now the current sellers are going to take a step back. So why do I say this? Well, the growing inventory of new homes on the market has dramatically slowed down. What that means is that your rate of increase I'll put it in perspective. If it was going up at 45-degree angle, it's now leveled off to 25-degree angle. Dramatically slowed. The number of new listings is decreasing. In fact, our high point for the number of new listings in the last week was 733 homes back on July 25th, which it just fits perfectly with our typical summer, with the greatest number of new listings coming to market the latter 2 weeks of July. That's what we happen. Now, the number of pending homes this week is the second highest of the year, which is a natural artifact. We're 3 weeks after that high point of new listings coming to market. We're now almost at that same high point for pending homes at the market. Now, the number of sold homes is holding steady right there at 400, in the low 400s per week. Why is this? Well, about 33%, about 1/3 of the homes out there have come back on the market. We call it back on market. Why is this? Buyers get cold feet. They think that they have overbid, irrational exuberance, and they just back out. They use a number of reasons to back out of the contract. Typically, 33% is normal. So what does this tell us? Maybe those irrational days of 7, 8, 10 offers on a listing are behind us, which I frankly think is better. I'd love to have 2 or 3 offers on a home and have a fair competition than have 7 or 10 and just make life difficult for everybody. A lot more work for everyone involved and a lot more anxiety and emotion. Now, sellers, I think, are also being realistic because, again, the number of homes with that price adjustment in the last 45 days, 30.1%, 30% is their expected number in a normal market. Just under 1/3 of the homes realize that the sellers may have overpriced, overshot, and now as they've hit the high point, they're coming back down. What's interesting is once they come down, they often go pending. So maybe there's a lesson, either come on at the correct price or overprice and then expect to come back. Now, if you know, we've been listening to these reports now since last October, and this market correction that I've been talking about now, about the growing inventory of new homes slowing down, I've been telling you about this since June, because if you listen to these weekly reports, that's where you get it. Alternately, there's those who listen to the media and they wait every month for RMLS to release their statistics, usually the second week of the month on the previous month. So that's 6 weeks late. Well, frankly, if you talk to me, I put these reports out every Monday. So keep checking back every Monday, noon to afternoon, somewhere on that time, I'll put out this video. I have a second video I'm going to put out after this. It's going to talk about a perfect example of market consultation. I have a client, a former client, in fact, who's reached out to sell the house that I helped them buy back in 2015. We'll get to that video. Look around for it, click on it, you'll get the details as an example of how I provide information and apply this national data and the Portland data uniquely to a specific neighborhood. That's what you pay me for, as my neighborhood expertise. Have a wonderful day. Make it a wonderful week.